The woman had just gotten home when she noticed a pair of stockings that didn't belong to her, and on the table were 2 used condoms. Realizing her husband was cheating, Lisa didn't hesitate for a second before grabbing a carving knife and stabbing him. After he died, she cleaned up the blood on the floor with corrosive liquid. Then she deliberately swapped out the murder weapon, the one stained with the corrosive, for a new one, covered in blood, and placed it on her husband's chest. When the police carried away the body, Lisa just stood there expressionless, staring at her husband. But at the police station, she burst into laughter. During questioning, Lisa explained that she had planned to try for a second child with her husband that night. As for the stockings in the studio, she guessed they belonged to her junior colleague. She also claimed she had seen a mysterious person wearing a hat hanging around her building earlier. Detective Jack, assigned to the case, noticed something while investigating. Every spot where evidence might have remained had been destroyed by corrosive liquid. Only the murder weapon had traces of the victim's blood. But curiously, there were no fingerprints belonging to Lisa. His gut told him Lisa was the killer, but without direct proof, the police could only release her temporarily and keep her under surveillance. One day, Jack spotted Lisa cleaning something near a trash can, constantly looking around. Then she sprayed perfume on herself several times, like she was covering up a smell. Back home, Lisa took photos with her phone of her husband's belongings, and Jack watched it all clearly from outside the window. He later searched a second-hand website and sure enough found those items listed for sale by Lisa. Jack suspected Lisa wanted to sell off her husband's most important possessions to help herself forget him. Not long after, Jack slipped into Lisa's teaching office while she was gone. Sure enough, he found a receipt on her desk for the purchase of corrosive liquid. Just as he was about to leave, he ran into Lisa returning unexpectedly. Luckily, Jack reacted quickly and made up an excuse to cover himself. Later, the police called in the junior colleague Lisa mentioned. The girl admitted she did have feelings for Lisa's husband, but she had an alibi for the night of the crime. She left the studio at 5 p.m. In a taxi. The police needed to find the driver to confirm. Lisa had asked to go back to her husband's studio to collect some things, but the request was denied. That only made Jack more certain something was hidden in that studio. He went there alone to piece things together. If Lisa really had used corrosive liquid to wipe away every trace, then the actual murder weapon must have been corroded too, which meant the bloody carving knife left at the scene was probably planted afterward. So he collected all the carving knives from the scene and brought them to the station for testing. Once the results came back, the police arrested Lisa. In Lisa's belongings, they found a hard drive containing numerous videos of her life with her husband. One clip showed her husband apologizing because he didn't want a second child. Furious, Lisa grabbed a carving knife and threatened him to stay away. Jack laid out his deductions. Lisa came home, discovered her husband's affair, and stabbed him to death with the carving knife. She cleaned up the blood, poured corrosive liquid to destroy evidence, then switched the murder weapon to stage the scene. Lisa refused to accept Jack's theory, so Jack produced the real murder weapon to show Lisa wasn't the gentle, harmless woman she appeared to be. He pulled out an orphanage investigation report from her childhood. At age 12, she had pushed a classmate down a staircase, breaking their leg. Faced with this damning evidence, Lisa offered no explanation. In the end, she was forced to accept the charges and locked away in prison. Meanwhile, high-ranking officials at the DA's office were struggling with another sensitive case. To divert public attention, they decided to sensationalize Lisa's case. Soon, 2 videos were released online by Jack. The first showed Lisa scolding her husband when he said he didn't want a second child. The second showed her holding a carving knife, warning him to stay back. What were originally just heated words during a marital argument instantly stirred public emotion, making everyone believe Lisa was the murderer. But the truth was far different. On the day her husband died, Lisa had called him and heard her junior colleague's voice in the background. Her husband insisted the girl was only there to study, so Lisa didn't think much of it. Back downstairs, she dressed up carefully, even taking off her underwear in advance. Just as she was about to head upstairs, a mysterious figure in a hat walked out from her front door. Lisa instinctively lowered her head onto the steering wheel to avoid being seen. When she got inside, her husband was already lying in a pool of blood. Panicked, she dropped the wine glass in her hand, shattering it. That was the full truth of what happened to Lisa that night. Yet the police remained adamant that Lisa was the killer. At the same time, a mysterious woman was calmly cleaning up after killing a couple. She looked up at the TV, took off her wig, and slowly smiled. Who exactly is this woman? Is she the real killer who murdered Lisa's husband? And if so, why would she frame Lisa?